Hello guys, welcome to my channel SwathiPharmaJnan, sharing knowledge. Today's topic is antibiotics. We'll discuss about historical background of antibiotics, history of penicillins and definition of antibiotic. Historical background. In 1877, Louis Pasteur is the scientist who has discovered inhibition of some microbes by other microbes during his research on anthrax disease. In 1908, Gelmo is another scientist. He has synthesized sulfanilamide. This is the first sulfonamide. It contains sulfonyl group and amide group, which are attached to the phenyl ring. In 1910, Paul Ehrlich is the scientist. He has selected some strains of microbes and he termed the name magic bullets, chemotherapy or chemical knife. In 1913, Eisenberg he has studied bactericidal properties of azodides with sulfonamide group. When the sulfonamide group is attached or combined with azodide, it will show the bactericidal property. What is bactericidal property? Any drug or chemical which is having the property of killing the bacteria is called bactericidal property. In 1928, penicillin was first discovered by Alexander Fleming. In 1932, Ehrlich is another scientist. He has discovered antimicrobial activity of sulfonamides. In 1943, drug companies have started production of penicillin. In 1948, when human beings started showing penicillin resistance, then to to overcome that penicillin resistance species, cephalosporins were synthesized by Oxford University. In 1952, erythromycin is another drug which is derived from Streptomyces erythraeus. In 1956, vancomycin has been introduced for penicillin resistant species for various diseases. In 1962, quinolone antibiotics were first discovered. In 1980, fluoroquinolones were discovered and they became clinically useful. For example of fluoroquinolones are ciprofloxacin, lomifloxacin, sparfloxacin, ofloxacin, which are used for the treatment of urinary tract infections and so on. In 2000, macrolide antibiotics have been introduced into clinical practice. Coming to history of penicillins, penicillin was discovered by Alexander Fleming in 1928. He has noticed that one of his experimental cultures of Staphylococcus has been contaminated with mold or fungi. You can also call it as yeast. So this mold or fungi is killing the bacteria, is caused the bacteria to lyse. Since mold belongs to the family Penicillium, Fleming named the compound as penicillin. Penicillin is obtained from Penicillium notatum, which is a fungi or mold. Alexander Fleming got Nobel Prize for explaining penicillin is a chemical extract which is obtained from Penicillium notatum, which is a mold or fungi, which stops the growth of other microbes. Few years later, the group of researchers from Oxford University have started discovering various penicillin derivatives like penicillin V, penicillin F, penicillin G, penicillin K, penicillin O, and penicillin X, so on. Flory and Chain, they have introduced the penicillins for chemotherapy. Waxman Selman is another scientist in 1942 who has given the definition of for antibiotics. Coming to definition of antibiotics, these are the chemical substances produced by microorganisms which has the capacity of inhibiting the growth or even destroying other microorganisms. This is the simple definition given by Waxman in 1942. Again, the antibiotics has been classified into another in another way, like antibiotics are the chemical substances or drugs produced by living organisms or marine sources which will inhibit the growth of other microorganisms in small concentrations. Means if we have taken the antibiotics or antibiotics in micro concentrations, means small concentration, they will inhibit the growth of further stages of growth in microorganisms. If we have taken in macro concentration, means high concentration, then they will kill the microorganisms. Inhibiting the growth of microorganisms is termed as bacteriostatic property. Killing the bacteria microorganisms is termed as bactericidal property. So, and they kill the microorganisms in high concentrations or macro concentrations. Antibiotics are not effective against viral infections. Why? Because The virus will change its structure from time to time. That's why the antibiotics will not show any effectivity towards virus or viral infections. Antibiotics also includes synthetic and semi-synthetic antimicrobial compounds like chloramphenicol and sulfonamides. We'll see the classification of antibiotics in my next video. Thank you.